Hello, everyone. Welcome to our weekly edition of Shoot the Shit Saturday. I'm Obsolete 2003. I'm here with the one and only Espionage DB7.
Hey, he said the one and only. He must want me to do the whole thing.
No, that's why I did it for you, so you wouldn't do the whole thing. Anyways, here also with a ringleader,
Howdy ho.
Val,
Hi.
and cannot forget Nicholas Zombie.
As much as I try.
That's hello in Animal Crossing.
Wow.
Animalese, actually.
I expected a little bit more pitchier.
Look, I can't do the really weird ones. Look, I don't know how to do that.
It's just terrible.
Aren't you like by Pokemon where you say nuck.
It's not Pokemon, man. I'm not catching animals.
Hey, let's
They're
take
my
care of the
villagers.
elephant in the room. First of all, before we get into anything, dig this new look for Shoot the Shit. I gave it a facelift. Look at it. New intro, new flashing
You're
icon.
gloating.
I'm not gloating. I'm saying, look, the thing has a new
You're
look.
gloating.
This is what we like to refer to as the polished turd update.
I mean, look at it. It's got. I mean,
It's a nice turd.
I polished the hell out of it, and it's not a turd. I mean, didn't you like that smoky neon sign? I mean, it really gives you the feel of a biker bar, doesn't it? I don't know why I went for that look, but it felt right. But yeah, it's nice. And look, the logo. Look at it blink, and look at the nice shiny colors of the sound waves. The point I'm saying is it's nice.
Ah.
Anyway,
Actually,
yes.
I'm looking at the sound waves while I do that. Ooh. Look at them spike. Ah. Okay.
At any rate, this is the new look for Shoot the Shit. And a couple of things I want to get off my plate here. Actually, Shoot the Shit is one of them. I was actually talking to Val and to Obs about this a little bit. What would you guys think about starting to have guests on our podcast? Well, don't all rush in at once. I mean,
I think it's
Insert
very-
cricket noise.
I mean, no. So what I'm talking about is I actually talked to Mike about this. He said he'd be open for it, but he apparently is. He doesn't have a smartphone right now, and he doesn't have a good enough internet connection to support that, or a headset for that matter. He would like to do it, but then I know we have our constant peeps that follow us and stuff. Death of Fox Goddess, Mellow Lives. Is it Mellow Lives or Mellow Lives? I always confuse it. Mellow Lives, right?
Wasn't
Mellow
he a
Lives.
caveman at one point?
He's caveman
caveman
kills,
now.
and then he's Eduardo Juarez now or something.
He's a flavor of the week kind of guy.
Yeah,
He's a man of many names.
but yeah, we can just have them as a guest in here. I mean, what would you guys think to that idea? Like, it's not something we do every single week, but just something we can have guests, to show up and just shoot the shit with us.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, once you get
Yeah.
Kevin Smith on here, then we'll talk.
Hey, we'll move up to celebrities eventually. Once we'll branch out.
Like, Kevin Smith's very obtainable. He'll do anything.
Really? Call
Just
him.
need to give him some weed.
Yeah, he's always usually high, so.
Get him some
That'd
weed.
be great.
He did the movie Tusk, so.
But we live in
See,
Texas.
Tusk? It's the internet, man.
But can we get him weed? How do we get Kevin
Yeah.
Smith some weed?
I'm sure there's ways, legal
Right.
ways.
If there's a will, there's a
They're in
way.
Texas.
I can pay someone in California to get him weed.
You work on that. You work on that.
Legally.
Legally.
Well, and it's something we should think about. But yes, I would like to do that. And I know Ring had some
Give
news.
Kevin Smith a tweet.
Yeah, there we Kevin Smith, join our podcast. We'll give you weed. But anyway,
That's-
Ring
Please
had
don't take
some,
down our channel for
Jesus.
promoting drug use.
not that kind of weed. I'm talking about like dandelions and stuff.
What you talk about, Animal Crossing?
Weeds,
Yeah, played.
plural. But Ring had
Ring?
some news about Twitch.
Oh, so we are beginning to start our streaming, our experiences and stuff into Twitch via the channel Odds and Ends Gaming. I think it's Odds and Ends Gaming or Odds and Ends Gaming. You named it weird. Anyways,
I didn't name it weird. What the
you
fuck?
did.
I named it Odds and Ends Gaming. What did I name it? What did I name it?
You named it something else.
Better.
Anyways,
you
we'll
you,
have the link.
you
we'll
named
have the
the
link.
the thing.
Hold on. We have
Jeez.
the
Oh,
link to
Jesus.
the Twitch channel on the description below.
You named in the fucking Grand Theft Auto. You named us Odds Ends Gaming. So
So what?
well, and the
We're barely
Twitch.
not even 5 minutes in, you two are already bickering.
I know, right?
It's
real.
not my fault. It's not my fault. He just attacked me for no reason.
It's not your
Well,
fault yet.
You're saying I named it weird. I just looked it up. It's Odds Ends Gaming. Okay, it didn't
Right.
fit the whole thing, and they didn't let me use an ampersand. So that's why Odds Ends Gaming. That's not. It's fine. What's wrong with that? It's not weird. It's just missing the end.
You should have just done the initials.
OEG, I guess. Well, whatever. It's
OEG works.
It's there. It's
O
there.
N E G.
Oh, it's fine. It's there. It's good.
Just realized I'm picking all,
It's okay,
I'm picking all
it's
this.
okay.
Why did I give the floor to Ring? Anyway,
You didn't
You
just. Yeah, I didn't tap the floor. You just like gave me and you just turned right back.
no, because you immediately started saying that I named it something weird, and
Yeah.
I did not. It's fine, and I was just calling back that
In
you.
gaming news,
Mm-hmm.
has anything happened?
Streets of Rage 4 is coming out.
Street Rage 4 is coming out at the end of the month.
Fuck, that is
Yeah.
that is my game, and I have to buy that. I will be buying that.
April 30th.
I
I'm
will
getting
be-
on the Switch.
I will be playing that.
And on Friday, I'm getting Predator Hunting Grounds. I have it pre-ordered, and I'm excited.
Nice.
I never even heard of that game. What is that?
Get with it.
Old man.
Yeah,
Well, talk about it.
it's a game. A fun game.
It's pretty neat. Hit buttons.
With
Stuff
lots of
happens.
death and pew pews. And from my understanding, it's similar to like Dead by Daylight, but instead of being only the killer, well, you can be the killer or the military. Sorry, you can be the predator or the military, and it seems really cool. We should, this would have been a perfect shoot the shit to have Gilf on there, because without him, I wouldn't have gotten the game. It just
That's
looks
why-
really fun from the previews
See,
that I've seen, and it says the demo's really good ESSB.
no, go ahead. Finish your
Continue.
thought. Finish
The
your
beta.
thought. Finish
Sorry,
your
the
thought.
beta. So, and from what I've seen, I like what I saw. I'm just really excited. I can't really tell you much more about it until I actually get hands-on, but it looks freaking amazing. I'm excited.
In other gaming news, some of y'all may be aware, but EA had announced a remaster of Command & Conquer and Command & Conquer Red Alert. Now, originally I was quite suspect of what they were going to do with the remaster. Add a bunch of paywalls or a bunch of paid DLC instead of offering it as one package. 'Cause Command & Conquer and Red Alert have quite a few DLC actually. It turns out that the remasters actually are a faithful remaster being done by Petroglyph as well as another company, I forgot who are the original developers for the Command & Conquer series. And they are doing so with direct inputs from the fans 24/7 over the course of development. It's very unlike EA to do such a thing, but I personally have been a player of Command & Conquer since at least 1996, back when I played the console version of the original game. I am looking forward to it. It is released June 23rd, and I will be streaming it on Twitch as much as I can. I'm not the greatest RTS player, but that was one of my top games. So just a heads up and keep an eye out for that.
Good news for all RTS fans out there. I like RTS games, I just suck at them. I am terrible. I can't manage my troops or my armies, and I just end up getting annihilated. I like them.
I remember as a youth watching Obsolete 2003 play a lot of RTS games.
Total annihilation, right?
I don't remember. I just remember watching the big robots go after the other robots.
Was it Total Annihilation? Ops?
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah,
I know
I
you're a
played
fan of
it.
that one.
Yes. I've played that many a time. I have it now actually too, but yes, it was a very fun one.
I used to play Age of Empires 2 and StarCraft a lot, but I was never very good at that. I have this one instance, this one story where came back and had a championship, like a pro gamer move as they call it now. It's the one time I won and it was fucking awesome. It's when I used to work in my university, when I was younger, all the freaking texts and stuff when it was slow, everybody had Age of Empires 2 installed, and we would have like 4 or 5-way LAN games. And I remember this one time we were having a game and I just got obliterated, but I managed to sneak away 2 little farmers or villagers or whatever they're called off into the woods, and they thought I was eliminated, but for some reason nobody second thought the fact that the message didn't pop up that said that, that my village or town had been eliminated. So they're like, oh, he's done. And so I just kind of stayed quiet, stayed huddled in the back, just working, and they were going at it themselves, building up their armies, waging war. All the while they left me completely alone off in some little corner, furthest corner of the map, building my army. And then when the final guy ransacked everything else, he's like, where's the victory message? Why haven't I gotten the win? And all of a sudden, at that point, his forces were pretty depleted because he just launched, attacks on the other guys. He had won, but he was depleted. All of a sudden, here I come with my Persian elephants or whatever the hell I had, and I just plowed through everything. It was glorious. It was one of my triumphant moments.
It was like the Jerry Lawler hiding under the ring in the Royal Rumble.
Which Royal Rumble was that?
Watch out! Think of your family! Think of your children! Think of your fans!
By God, he is broken in half, as God is my witness.
Yes.
There's
Like how anytime we talk about wrestling, the common denominator is just JR.
Dude, JR is awesome.
JR is awesome.
There's a popular meme where they'll just take random shit, and they just put JR over it.
It's great. I love that meme. That meme needs to come back.
How about the RKO?
You know what that though is? Just the fact is that JR is immortalized because of that meme. I mean, he was already right within wrestling circles, but he went to another level where the common everyday person can relate because he became a meme god.
I remember when fucking JR commentates on baseball or some shit, and it's just like random little things. He's setting up now, and then fucking the bat just hits the ball. Oh my God! Oh my God! How about the RKO out of nowhere memes? Those were fucking hilarious.
Yes.
Fucking just Randy Orton falling off a ladder. So real quick, I did want to comment on something. I didn't mean to interrupt you, Val, when you were talking earlier, but there was something I wanted to address when you were saying. You mentioned Gilstrife. I would not mind having Gilstrife on here as a guest, but man, I know he's just gonna be bringing up General Jousting the whole time. It's gonna be an hour of like, when are you guys gonna play General Jousting, or we should play General Jousting, or whatever. I'm so sick of hearing about General fucking Jousting.
I don't know who this Gilstrife is, but he sounds like my kind of guy.
He's a fucking child.
Oh, here we go.
Don't insult our viewers either. I'm just saying that it's all I'm saying, which is true, because every time he comes on the stream, it's General Jousting.
I have a reason.
Genital Jousting.
I have a fucking reason.
You brought Genital Jousting up.
Because
now, let's
he
tell the
brings
people when we'll stream it on Twitch.
Never.
Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays.
Are you gonna stream it?
Either way, it's not happening.
Oh, it will happen.
What, General Jousting?
General Jousting is happening. It's always
going
to happen. General Jousting will never stop.
General Jousting.
In other gaming news, before you guys get into whatever,
it's a tarantula.
Animal Crossing update. Yeah, folks. You thought we were done? It just begun. Animal Crossing update.
A tarantula. Sorry.
She just got a tarantula. I know the excitement. It's real. Leafy's coming. What's Leafy? Who the fuck's Leafy? You don't know? He brings bushes to the island. It's gonna be sick. Shut up. Museums getting expanded. Fucking, we're getting art up in this bitch. Fuck yeah. Red's coming.
Dude,
he's a thief. Everyone thinks fucking Tom Nook's the bad guy. Red's a fucking thief selling you fucking crooked art. He's the true villain of Animal Crossing.
Nook is a bad guy? I thought he was a good guy.
No, he's not. You shut up. He's great.
Well, you're the one that said everybody thinks he's a bad guy.
I'm updating people.
Meanwhile, in another Nintendo news, hold on, I gotta interject real quick.
Why don't you shut him up?
No,
Animal Crossing's happening.
We don't want to hear you.
Alright, go for it.
Animal Crossing.
Nick.
Animal updates. Anyway. Also, Harvey's Island that no one ever goes to, finally getting some more people we can take pictures of. We're getting a fucking wedding ceremony with the little llamas who used to make furniture. It's great. Everyone's coming back. Everyone's here. Animal Crossing Ultimate.
Oh, I I'm raising my hand, Nick. I got a question.
Yes,
Are these
yes.
the llamas from the Pocket Edition?
Yes, they are the llamas.
Yes!
They're the blue
You know, you
llamas.
don't have to raise your hand.
I appreciate raising hands. You did not, so be quiet.
Bestiality.
Yes, Val. Yes, they are the llamas. They are a new leaf. They used to make furniture for you and customize it. It was great. They were adorable.
Yes, they are adorbs.
It's gonna be sick. So far, that's all we got. Updates dropping in 2 fucking days. It's gonna be wicked. I'm very seriously thinking about getting an Elgato to the stream, but hey, I don't know.
I
Stuff's
appreciate
expensive.
I appreciate your gift for making this game sound like hardcore as hell. Like this sounds like some fucking. I mean, I don't
The
know.
game's repetitive. It has its
You
faults,
don't
but
know until you play.
No, but he
You
just.
won't
He
know
sounds.
There's
till
people-
you play.
He sounds
people
like
Ring. There's people like Ring who are just like, oh, it's repetitive. You do the same.
I'm not bashing. It's just
No. I'm just saying, there's people like that. It's like, it's the same thing over and over.
No, but
And then there's people who got that heroin hit and will never let it go.
no, but you
And
sound
this
like
dragon has fucking grew. This dragon's gotten better. This dragon's like what people who do heroin want the heroin to be.
Wow.
So basically, heroin folks, get off that crap and get on this Animal Crossing high. We're waiting for you on the island.
he sounds like
Do
one of
it.
those '90s video TV personalities selling you video games, like fucking, you know, like the rad kids with the hat backwards. He's like, you think you know gaming? You don't know gaming until you play Sonic the Hedgehog, and it fucking slams the cartridge into the screen. You know what I'm talking about? We're wearing those colorful shirts and the fucking those washed
Listen,
out
just because
jeans.
my hat's on backwards right now doesn't mean you have to go ahead and.
No, I'm just saying that's how you're
I'm just
presented.
kidding,
You
I'm
sound
just
like
kidding.
like that, like all the fucking, you know, the Sega. It's in the game, or you know, shit like that.
That's
and,
EA.
or oh,
thanks, Dame Deer.
So,
what it-
Nick, my gates are open and
Oh, I'm
waiting
coming.
for you. And if I
I'm bringing
have a
fruit. Do you need fruit?
suggestion-
I have apples, pears. I have all the fruit. You need any fruit?
you know, we're doing
Let's
a
do it,
podcast
more
right now.
fruit. But my offer, and it doesn't have to go for Nick, for our Animal Crossing viewers, if you're looking for more resources or just wanted more places to explore, I can offer my property or my island for viewing or resource collecting. You just gotta, return the favor and like and subscribe to our channel.
Sounds like
Okay,
a
I thought we
commune.
were getting real because the Animal Crossing marketplace is a real thing, and now we're talking about this, so I can let you know. Animal Crossing marketplace. Subscribe. Yes, there's materials, there's recipes, there's DIY things.
Hmm.
There's also the selling of animals.
What?
It is real because we sell animals in this bitch for Nook Mile
What?
tickets. People
Oh,
will sell
shit.
their villagers leaving
So this is
for
basically
a certain amount of Nook Mile tickets.
so human trafficking,
it's-
but with animals.
Animal trafficking. They ain't humans. They're humanoid. But anyway, it's real. It's sick. Also, turnip prices. Those depend on islands. You can go ahead. People have made a marketplace out of this thing. It's insane.
I have yet to get turnips. I'm just saying.
Yeah, the game gets deep. The game gets deep. Not really. I'm not saying it's like in depth,
Fucking
but it's deeper than you think
The Last
Animal
of Us
Crossing
deep.
should be.
I'm deep in debt. Does that help too?
You can
'Cause,
get out of debt if you sell those turnips at the right price.
I need turnips.
Wow.
I don't have them.
This game incites a lot of excitement.
You gotta wake up early to get turnips. She's only there from
hell
fucking
no.
6 to 12 at Sundays.
This bitch needs to just live on our island already.
She's adorable. You do not call Daisy May a bitch.
I've never met her.
She's adorable. She's a little child. She doesn't even have tusks yet.
Oh.
Anyway, I'm on my way. Continue with the podcast, folks. Sorry about that.
And other Nintendo news. Turns out Mario, what was it? Mario Maker
He died
2
finally.
Mario
Maker
Maker 2?
is
Oh,
getting the final major update.
Sweet, I can play that.
Mario Maker 2 is the world update where you can actually create worlds, not just levels. You can create maps that have multiple stages, design and stats. They're also it's mostly set in the Mario world design. Unfortunately, it looks like there's no Yoshi's Island design this time around. Well, maybe that'll be before Mario Maker 3.
All I know is I've seen every
Also, increasing the
every
number of hats that be worn. Shut up, I'm not done. which includes the hats from Super Mario 3D or Mario 3D Land, right? As well as missing hats from, I believe, Super Mario Bros. 2. So for those who have Mario Maker, this would be a very exciting update since it provided some items that have been missing this entire time.
I always wanted to get into Mario Maker. Just, I don't know.
I see some of the torture levels, and they're amazing. Like
That's
there's
all I've
some
done.
levels-
yeah.
And the thing is, in order for the level to be on the marketplace, the creator would have to have beat them.
Mhm.
So anyone who can beat them, well, all the maps are beatable some fucking way, and some of them are just pure god mode.
Yeah.
Like fucking kill me now. This is torture modes and shit like that. And I've seen some of those maps, and they're just ridiculous.
I think it's also because I wasn't a Mario kid. I was a Sonic kid, as S pointed out earlier.
Sonic.
Who remembers
nothing wrong
that?
with
Who remembers that classic fucking Super Mario Brothers 3 commercial where you have all these people just chanting Mario, Mario, and it zooms out and it's fucking the face of Mario on the side of the United States, made up by all these people.
How about the commercial where it was Smash Brothers when it was first out?
Oh, the
Yeah,
people
like
in
me
costumes.
and
Yeah.
You and me.
The costumes, I remember.
Yeah, I was great.
Pikachu beating up Yoshi and stuff.
I'm
Yeah.
really not trying to bring it back, but do you remember the Animal Crossing commercial? Where it was like, that MTV show. I can't remember what the show was. Real Life or something Life. I can't remember. It was weird. It was very weird. The Animal Crossing's like, what happens? People stop being themselves, start being someone else.
Wow.
I can't say I remember that commercial.
I can't remember.
But
it was
me
fucking weird.
and Val, for some reason, the other day were just talking about random old jingles from the '90s, like freaking we're like just call
Real
Arrow.
man of genius. Bud Light.
or like like strong enough for a man, but made for a woman. Or
Oh,
you know,
secret, right?
it was secret, and then the best part of waking up is Folgers in your
Folgers
cup.
in your cup.
This is
Also,
weird.
Arrow upholstery.
Man, we better be breaking in these pennies.
What was that? The Gillette one was the
The
Gillette.
best a man can
The
get.
best.
Wasn't
the
you say that
man
already?
can get. I didn't say that one right now.
Is this
I think it's
demolition?
Wheelet from
Now let it
Archer.
to you. Now let it to me. Now let it to your wife. Now let it to me. I'm a horse.
That's the Old Spice one.
Oh.
Why are we doing this?
Oh,
And don't
Yo.
forget Venus.
I'm your Venus.
I'm your goddess, your desire.
there's-
Settle down. Like,
There's something
Settle
that's
down.
still in you.
Maybe she's born with it.
Maybe
maybe
it's
it's
Maybelline.
Maybelline.
What's happening? What is going on?
Hey, they're catchy. They're fucking. I don't
It's-
want to grow up. I'm a
I'm a
Toys R Us kid.
Toys R Us
X amount of
kid.
days in
Which,
quarantine.
Yeah,
if I'm not
it is.
mistaken, there might be a Toys R Us store, or because they brought some of it back. I think I saw one either
They brought
at
it
Ingram.
back. COVID took it out.
If they're
Yeah.
at the same high prices, they're not gonna
Yeah.
survive.
You've been rather quiet. You gotta have
No,
some
it's-
gaming news.
It's been a
Kind of also still with Nintendo news. Apparently, the Switch has been completely sold out since everything has gone down recently.
Yes.
That's because of bots, apparently.
Hey,
Yes.
Nick, did you see the Animal Crossing Switch they
We're off
have?
of Animal
I
Crossing.
did.
They're done.
I
They're-
did, and I didn't realize that
We-
it came out a week
I
before
need it
the
in my
game.
life.
I know, it's beautiful. I didn't realize it came out a week before the game. I thought it came out the same damn day as the game, and I was like, alright, I'll just go super early in the line and I'll get mine. But it was
Alright.
a week before, and I didn't get it. So
You
I just bought a
too.
normal Switch. Although
Animal-
it's good thing I bought a Switch when I did, because now it's gone. Because of bots.
Are you Animal
Let's
Crossing
talk
peeps?
about that. I brought it back, okay? Come on.
Hang on.
Anyway,
Wait.
Switch is gone because of computer bots who keep fucking getting them.
Look, are you two gonna be on it all tomorrow?
Yeah.
Talk to me
Maybe.
later after the podcast. But
Behind the scenes. on the
Yes.
podcast.
Dun, dun, dun.
All right, last
Da-da-da.
thing I'm gonna bring
But
up.
the
Val,
number of
open your
things
gates. I
done.
can't get in.
I thought
The number
I
of things
opened them
being done
already.
in Animal Crossing is also ridiculous as well. Since people cannot meet in the RL because of situations.
Yo, that is true. There's a lot of Animal Crossing news. Have you seen the protest?
Which one?
Speaking of protests,
There was
Yeah.
Chinese protest. That Animal Crossing's banned in China because of
Yeah.
the Chinese protest. I think we talked about that maybe a week ago.
Yeah.
I saw on Reddit someone locally held Animal Crossing Fiesta.
Yeah. some people are holding weddings in Animal Crossing. Other people are
Graduation.
I remember
Yeah.
I wrecked a wedding in World of Warcraft at one time. Ring, do you remember that? Were you around?
Wow.
There was
no.
there.
He says that with such pride.
No, I don't
know,
mean it.
right?
I don't mean it.
I remember this time I
There was-
burst into a wedding and ate the cake and fucked the bridesmaid.
No, there was a story time real quick. It was in Darnassus or no, outside of Darnassus or I don't remember the name of the fucking place.
And
But-
go on.
It was a horde wedding, and they were all fucking PvP marked. And everybody, there was a bunch of people, and they all had the in-game tuxedos because you can get tuxedos. And there was like it was a fucking tauren, a female cow, and then a troll or some shit. And they were standing there, and whenever you're talking to people of the enemy affiliation, you can't understand them. It'll just say that it's in their native language, so you don't know what they're saying. But based on how everything was arranged and everything, it was like a wedding, right? And I showed up there, and it was this. They weren't hostile towards me. I was like, just what the hell are they doing? I started calling people. I think we were in Sanity's Requiem at the time, so I called Seiko, Thorn. I called Mona. I don't know. I don't remember if you were there, Ring, but we called a bunch of people. We're like, guys, come check this out. There's something going on here. So they're doing their wedding thing, and we actually just ended up coming in as almost like guests because we were just watching. And all of a sudden, one of the fucking rogues, for some reason, cloaked and then started attacking one of my friends. So when they attacked, well, I attacked back, and the fucking thing just exploded. It turned into this big fucking frenzy of just this whole thing. And then the tauren, the bride, started doing the crying emoji, just kind of just continuously like just fucking weeping. And
Hey, she knew what was going to happen. She knew what she signed up for.
well, it was just like fucking, it was nuts because they started it. They started the hostility, but yeah, we completely ruined that wedding. But that was fun times.
I would have remembered that.
Well, I guess you weren't there, but it was fucking funny. But
That's such a dude.
no, what I defended myself. But the thing is, it was kind of a slaughter because once you're in combat, you can't change gear, and they didn't have any armor on. They just had their tuxedos. So we were there fully fucking armored and shit. So we were just kind of wrecking them, you know. So
Sheeps to the slaughter.
basically,
Hey, but they knew what could have happened. They should have known better.
well,
So she probably couldn't complain because the fact is it was done on a PvP environment.
but the funniest thing, that was the first and only time I ever saw anything like that. Like, it was a whole organized wedding. I had never seen an in-game thing like that. It was cool because they had this one character that I was playing like a minister. He was an undead. He was like, looked like the Undertaker or something, but he was like playing the minister. And then you had the troll groom and the tauren bride, and then everybody was sitting in the seats and stuff, and it was pretty cool. And I just showed up to look. I was like, man, they're probably gonna kill me, but no, they weren't hostile towards me. So I was like, I'm gonna check this out. And I called Seiko and Mona, and I think Dan was there. I think Dan is the one that was there, and we're just there. And then for some reason, some jackass rogue, I think he attacked Dan. She was a little gnome, so she got killed pretty easy. But then I'm like, you know, fuck you guys. So I went in and started throwing AoEs everywhere. I didn't just kill the one person. I just threw bombs, like, you know, my consecration bombs everywhere, and just.
Was he on his mage?
Dan was on his mage, yeah, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, Lucan.
I
I
remember
remember correctly.
Yes, but it was some funny shit, and yeah, they that wedding basically got wrecked. So yeah.
Good
Such
times,
a
I guess.
What do you guys think about everything opening back up, or getting to the brink of opening back up? What do you think of these stupid protests?
Okay.
Talking about stupid people? I'm down to talk about stupid people.
Okay, protesting, if it's done right, it can be, okay, I guess. But if it's done stupidly, no. I feel. Sure, go ahead.
Alright.
Let's talk about the stupid people real quick.
Yeah, I'm gonna talk about stupid people too.
Go ahead.
The way he said that.
Apparently, you gotta say it's more important. Go.
No, I forgot. Go ahead.
No, too late. Fucking shit. Interrupting me. Okay, so if you're gonna protest, no. Okay. do it smart. At least have freaking gloves or courtesy for other people. Have like the fucking mask on or something. I mean, I get it. It's a stressful time. You know, it. I'm just getting heated thinking about it. I'm sorry.
It is very anger inciting. It's basically these people are so eager to get back to work, which I understand, but they're not looking at the long term, the ramifications that come from the fact that if we don't work to contain the spread of this thing, it's gonna make things just gonna amplify and everything and make it 10 times worse. And then,
can I say something? Interject real quick on that.
Go ahead.
So Iceland did a little testing, mass testing of their population, about 10% of their population, right? 40% of that 10% had it.
Wasn't it New Zealand?
No, it was Iceland. They
New Zealand took care of their shit.
Yeah, well, they're different. But Iceland, though, 40% had it, and about half of those were asymptomatic. Now, Iceland has a decent population, at least about 10, 20 million. And if Iceland, which has been taking active countermeasures, has that much infection already, then it's good to say that a fair amount of the country is already infected.
Oh,
but we just don't test for it.
Yeah, exactly.
So containing the spread is an oxymoron if it's already that far reaching.
So, contain.
But there's ways to prevent it.
But we're not gonna.
Yeah.
It's gonna just amplify it all the more. So it's kind of like
you can either do nothing.
It's like if your house
or
is on
at
fire.
Least fucking try.
It's like the house is on fire. Why am I gonna put it out? It's already on fire. Well, yeah, you don't want it to spread to other fucking houses. You still want to put it out.
Well, if you want to put it out, then you have to at least have proper testing to determine how much the population actually has the fucking thing. Doing all this thing about staying.
We don't have proper testing.
I'm not.
We need proper testing.
What I'm saying is that without actual proper testing, none of this matters. Because if we're all asymptomatic and you don't get tested for it at all, or reliable testing for that matter, then you can still spread it just as easily once everything opens back up, no matter how much you try to contain it.
That's my point exactly, and because I think it's a bad idea to already start opening things back up until we at least establish a better testing initiative. And the whole protesting is just, to me, it's ridiculous because, like Val said, protesting is one of the most American things you can do. This country is built on the fact that people's voices can be heard, and people have lawful assembly and get together and voice for change. But when you're doing it in the middle of a pandemic, congregating together,
the country's
in the giant petri dish.
And you didn't have state governments trying to suspend the right to protest or the right to carry arms.
I don't think anyone's trying to suspend the right.
I don't think anybody's trying to.
Raleigh, Virginia, some parts of New York, it actually has been recorded down as actually happening.
I will tell you that there is a protest going on right now as of today that I heard about. Nurses went to Washington. They have masks and gloves on. They are actually standing 6 feet apart from each other, and they are, as a sign of protest, they have been reading off the names of the deceased, including their own staff and fellow doctors and nurses. And they're basically protesting to get better medical supplies, more, testing, better masks and stuff for it. So
can they read off the names of all the flu victims as well, since we're talking about viruses that have a mass infection?
That's just fucking stupid.
That is
the flu's fucking different. The flu's completely fucking different. It's fucking it's like fucking stupid.
The flu killed 40,000 in a whole year. This thing has killed
H1N1, also a highly infectious disease.
Took care of it. There was a reaction.
It hadn't spread to this level.
I didn't see no reaction.
But it didn't spread to this level.
Yeah, the level was completely different. It wasn't asymptomatic.
40,000 over have died already from this thing. Like I'm not saying anything about against protesting. I'm just saying it had, I agree with Val. It has to be
protesting
done right.
is Protesting is good. Protesting is really great. These fucking idiots are fucking stupid.
Yes, Nick summed it up perfectly.
That's fucking it. And yeah, like if they want to protest the correct way, I mean, just again, they could do it. That's fine. But they're just fucking humping each other in the goddamn fucking middle of Washington, just fucking.
Raleigh Police
it's fucking
Department
stupid. It's
has
fucking
said
stupid.
that protesting is not an essential right, and that anyone caught protesting will be immediately fined.
Well, then they are wrong.
Yes.
I
But
don't
there are
disagree with you on
still
that, that's wrong.
individual city and state governments trying to push this while during a time where you can't mass congregate and mass protest.
Well, are those people? Is that usually for people who are doing it incorrectly?
No, anybody.
Is the city under lockdown rules?
are there there lockdown rules? Are those people who are protesting doing it incorrectly? Do they have masks? Are they doing it?
Because
if
it's under lockdown, I don't think it's so much against the protest, just the fact that hey, you're not supposed to be out. Get online. We have the
One
internet.
woman was arrested for just merely arranging.
I think I see what you're going at. I get the fear of communism or whatever, you know. I get that.
The fear of authoritarian.
Yeah, that. I get it. That makes sense.
Here's the thing. People tend to give away their rights when they feel insecure, which is right now.
Very true. This is true.
And you know me, I'm a hardcore constitutionalist. I am all about rights. Because it's not worth living if you don't have the right to live as you see fit. And when you have governments who are trying to take advantage of this in mass, including the Fourth Amendment violations earlier this year by passing that Privacy Violation Act, you start to raise a lot of questions, especially when a lot of these state governments are pushing through laws at the time when nobody can actually correctly protest it, because they're saying you can't go protest because it's not considered an essential action.
But the question comes into play of if your rights tread on my ability to live, because if you go out there and protest and then you come and get near me after being an asymptomatic carrier of the disease and then you infect me, you know, your right to protest and all that is therefore being a detriment to me. So there has to be a middle ground, because it's kind of like, okay, you have the right to bear arms, but you don't have the right to just...
right things. If you have everything you need, the mask and stuff like that, and you're still being arrested for protesting, which the police says
that's wrong. I agree.
That's wrong.
Protesting is
right on that. That's
non-essential, which is a huge fucking thing you don't say and do.
You're absolutely right.
That's where the
that
problem
part
starts.
is wrong. My problem is the people that are
it's
getting
the people who aren't doing
and
that.
being stupid.
Yeah, it's the fucking idiots.
Because they want their hair
takes a
cut,
bunch of
they want
fucking
their
idiots.
nails
And
done,
I'm
they
the
want
one
their
focused-
eyelashes
There was one thing.
And
Oh
I'm
yeah.
focused on the ones doing it right, and they're
It's
still
very
being
small.
arrested all the same.
I don't think they're being arrested as much as the dumb ones. I think the dumb ones are being arrested.
Yeah, fuck the dumb ones.
If anything, arrest more people.
Fuck you, dumb people. What did I say?
Anyway, last thing I was gonna say about this before we get off. The funniest thing is them saying "my body, my choice." That's fucking hilarious. Anyway, let's get off this shit.
My body, my choice.
I want to
It's
hear from
fucking
Oz.
hilarious.
Well, you're not
He
wrong.
hasn't said hardly anything, which is his thing, but still, he has interesting things to say.
I've been kind of busy as of late, but the last two movies that I've seen were the Jay and Silent Bob reboot. I thought that was pretty funny.
I still haven't seen it. I want to see that.
I didn't know what to expect going into it the first time, but I just finished watching it the other day, and I thought it was pretty entertaining. They were
Does
doing
Kevin,
their... Go ahead.
does Kevin Smith look ill to anybody else?
He lost a bunch of weight because he had a fucking heart attack, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he still looks. He doesn't
He's
look
thinner.
well.
It's because
Yeah,
he's
no, but
wearing
he's-
baggy clothes while
He wears
looking
baggy-
as thin.
I guess.
He's fine.
He's
He's
fine. Good for Kevin.
I worry
Smith.
about him.
It's
You're worried about it because he looks different the way he does before. The fact is he's just wearing baggy clothes.
He does
He had
look.
a heart attack first. He went on a hardcore diet. He kept it under control. Everybody else has raised his concern. He's absolutely fine.
yeah.
I do see what you mean though. He does look very skinny, but he was pretty fat before.
He was. And
That's
I mean,
right. You're thinking about him how he appeared before. And
I'm
he's
not talking
the-
about.
you're
I'm not talking about his weight loss, but there's a thing between looking thin and slender and then looking sickly, and to me he kind of looked. Anyway,
It's-
I'll
Yeah,
finish.
he's fine. It's absolutely
Yeah.
fine. Some people just look like that.
Okay, he's
he
fine.
was super heavy, had a stroke, and then he completely had a life change with like he's like vegan now or whatever. But anyway, he's doing fine. He's rich. He can take care of himself. So, but the movie was funny. I got a kick out of it. It was pretty funny to see him older and just kind of as a big all-star cast. Other actors from all the other movies, Clerks, Mallrats, fucking Ben Affleck, Chasing Amy. They kind of bring them all into this movie.
Dogma.
Yeah,
He
Dogma.
was amazing, Dogma.
Yeah.
Uh,
I haven't seen that movie in a
Matt
while.
Damon even has a cameo in this one.
Matt
But,
Yeah.
But
Wait, wasn't Matt Damon in a MCU film as a cameo, or was that?
Thinking about
Oh
Batman.
man,
He was Loki.
It's
no,
Loki.
no.
Dogma.
No, he was.
Thor-
I mean, no,
Oh, yeah.
in the Marvel movie, he was Loki. He played Loki in the play
Yeah, you're right. You're
that
right.
Loki was
Oh,
having
that's
for
right.
himself.
Yeah, in Thor
Yeah,
Ragnarok,
it
right?
was fucking random.
Yeah, I forgot about that. And I just saw Thor Ragnarok like not that long ago. Holy shit!
I never saw it.
It's good. It's very 80s.
Someone was in Thor. I know that because he was the cameo in question. He was out in the country with his buddy, and I think Thor took his clothing. I think, and it was pretty dumb, but it was pretty funny because of how who it was and stuff like that.
Thor took his clothing.
Yeah, or whatever. When Thor first arrives.
The
Doctor
I saw the movie.
Strange.
Yeah, check it out. Check it out. The Jay and Silent Bob Strikes Back or reboot, whatever the hell it's called. But the other movie I saw was Underwater.
Oh, what's that about?
Yeah.
I never heard of that. Oh, is that the one where you're under
Underwater.
that research facility underwater, and there's like a monster in the water?
With Kristen Stewart.
What's the Shape of Water?
No, this is it's the one that
I
has
love
the.
that.
That was correct. That was correct. Basically,
Oh.
it's an underwater digging rig is in like the depths of the ocean, the deepest part of the ocean. I forgot where it's called, but basically,
Too fucking deep.
yes,
Shit
it's
can happen. Sorry.
the deepest part of there, and shit goes wrong where not necessarily the base is attacked, but it's like 6 miles underwater, which is like as deep as you could get in the ocean.
Challenge.
Deep Blue Sea.
Which is that movie where they're underwater on like a similar thing? They're like a
Fear?
exploration thing. No, they're underwater, and then one of the guys has an ulterior motive. He's like trying to summon demons, like they're drilling into the center of the earth, and they're trying to get to hell. And like he comes out like burned like a fucking upside down crucifix into his forehead, and he
What are you
starts
talking
killing out.
about?
Like he starts killing off the other people as sacrifices, and like they can't escape because it's like this facility underwater. But is it on Mars or is it underwater? I don't know.
Doom?
No, Mars is Doom.
I think
No.
you're crisscrossing the movies.
No,
I have
there's
no
You
idea.
are.
Yeah.
Talking about
You're
Doom?
hard right now.
I'm thinking Doom.
No, not Doom. No, this is a guy who's sacrificing
Doom.
people, and he's like the main bad guy, but he's trying to summon a demon or Cthulhu or some shit, and he ends up doing it, but then they blow it up and they seal the thing.
I don't know. But anyways, getting back to underwater,
Yeah.
rudely interrupted. Oh.
There's a lot of that tonight.
But the movie was pretty cool. Basically, there's a underwater digging rig that was going on. Some big catastrophic shit happens where people have to try to escape. They're not quite sure what's going on, but they have so much time to escape. But being so deep underwater, they really don't have their regular escape route has been compromised. So the captain of this digging rig says we have to exit where we're at, and we have to walk on the bottom of the ocean to this other area to be able to get into another rescue vessel. And yeah, and it's pretty crazy. They have these giant suits that look like the power armor from Fallout, and once they're outside, that's when they realize they're not quite alone, and there's these creatures that basically kind of start picking them off one by one, and they're completely caught off guard because they never knew what happened, what's down here, and they kind of came across, I forget what it was, basically some type of literally a hot pocket where there was like this temperature
Hot
increased, and there, I guess some unknown anomaly came about, and in the end there's this great big reveal of what was going on. I don't want to give any spoilers, but it was pretty good. It came out in the theaters. I didn't feel like paying for it full price. I kind of rented it, being here and self-quarantine, all that good. So I was like, oh, why not check it out? So I'm glad I didn't pay full price for it, but it was still entertaining to check out. I give it a recommendation to rent at least.
You know what you
If
can
you're-
do, right?
Your podcast is gonna settle down.
Wow! Wow! Wow, what the
Escalated.
Fuck, man! I was just gonna say, and maybe I shouldn't say this. I don't condone doing this, nor have I ever done it before.
See, he was right to tell you to settle down.
But
For
you know, if
real.
you rent a movie and watch it on your PC, you could just
Oz
get a.
and Damon does not advertise nor endorse any sort of online piracy. Thank you.
I'm not pirating. I'm just saying. Never mind. Forget I said anything.
You said it. It's
I said I
Jolly
didn't.
Roger
I
over
didn't
here.
do anything. I've never. Anyway,
So
thank you, Ops.
I guess following up with the movie Underwater, my just random question to you guys: what would you rather be, in the deepest depths of the ocean or in space?
So-
Space.
Those are both horrible.
So here's the thing, and we're gonna do this soon, because you actually
to
helped me
space?
segue into this next conversation. I want to have us play a game called Barrel Trauma.
Is that the one
Ever
about
heard
the
of it?
guy in the barrel where he swings around a hammer to try to climb over shit?
No. No. Barrel Trauma is a very devious and evil game for those who have the motivation. It is a basic, very basic side-scroller game where you play one of four or five characters in a sub under the ocean. And outside the submarine, as it progresses, are some sort of sea-going creature who tries to infect the crew and turns it into a sort of mixture of the face hugger before it becomes a chest burst. And what happens is that player then must keep themselves secret that they are infected and infect the other members of the crew. It can lead to some very devious gameplay, because I've seen some gameplay where because typically you want to RP it as much as you can, and this one guy's like, "No, I'm cool, just let me get closer to you," and everybody's like freaking out, like pointing at the does you have a security guard who's done? Then you have a captain.
That
you have
sounds
an
like the
engineer.
seat or the ship.
It's not. It's a pure 2D side scroller.
It's like
And-
Secret Hitler.
Basically. But it's just it can lead to some very tense moments, because you can't see outside the ship unless you're against the edge of the ship or the sub, right? You have a flashlight in most cases. You can't see the other parts of the sub if you're not there, because your view is limited based on your line of sight. And the goal is to reach the destination and perform the action required with at least one crew member surviving. But it gets more difficult the more crew members die, because only certain crews can do certain things. So the captain can only pilot the ship. The security guard is the only one who has a gun at the start. Engineer is the only one who knows how to fix things. It's got a very tense kind of situation going on there, and I would like us to play that at some fucking point.
Good. Now answer Ops' question. All right, I'll answer.
Can I opt for neither?
If you had a choice, I guess is the thing. But I can tell you, Ops, and I think you know this. I would choose space, just because I feel like, hey, I could probably get a good view before I die of look at the cosmos and the the heavenly bodies of the stars and all that, whatever. I have a fear of drowning. Like I've always said that if I ever go, please do not let it be either drowning or burning alive. I have a deathly fear of drowning as my form of death or burning alive. I feel like drowning is probably terrifying, because if you're trapped, and you can't move, I mean, that's got to be so disorienting and just terrifying, and then you just kind of feel your lungs fill with air. From what I hear, you get very peaceful before it happens, and you kind of relax and then just kind of drift away. And to me, I don't know. I imagine your lungs filling up with water hurts a lot. So
It's painful.
yeah, so I don't want to drown.
It's not gonna be peaceful. I can tell you that right now. It's not.
I've heard people say that you fall into like a peace. I'm like, fuck that. You drowning is peaceful. So
You're gonna panic and scream until the very last possible moment.
so yeah, space for me. Who's next?
Space B.
Well, I would ask first, which is quicker, a quicker death.
Yeah,
are we
how-
dying or are we going
Unless-
to
How
the
do you
I
that?
thought we were just checking them out.
Unless you are deep in the ocean, which you're below crush death, and you'll die pretty fucking quickly. There.
Yeah. I was
Okay,
gonna say,
whatever
once
is
you die,
quicker,
you're
because I
crushing.
don't want to feel shit.
I
But
just-
if I had to choose, I would have to say space, because I, like us, have a fear of drowning. As much as I love water, the whole not being able to breathe,
And we can't
having
breathe
something.
in space.
Well, I'm assuming it's quicker, like with your chances of freezing and stuff
I
like
say
that.
space too.
Yeah.
Because you'll probably land on some planet and be a shooting star. That's kind of sick. Or become absorbed into a star. Either way, you're all Stardust. Remember when Cody Rhodes was Stardust, everyone?
Yes.
Those are dark days.
How about you?
This got
Dark
dark.
days indeed.
I don't know. Everyone's saying space. I guess I'll go with underwater.
The abyss.
You don't have to go
Why?
against the grain.
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, it's kind of crazy because we know more about space than we do our own depths of the ocean. So
We don't know what's down there.
exactly. So it piques my
I
interest,
don't
like
know
the
what's
giant
down there.
squids, the giant.
down there.
Those are still a thing. There was obviously the megalodon, but that's not in the depths of the ocean. But what's truly down there? And
Fuck
I
the
think
depths
that's-
of space.
I know.
The depths of the sea.
I know a megalodon cannot be down there because it can only go so deep to its mass and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because most stuff at the lower ends of the ocean are like creatures that have relatively little or no skeleton to adjust with crush depth. It's just not tenable for a megalodon.
Yeah.
But you see, we barely have just fully discovered what the giant squid was like 20 years ago.
Yeah, and they still exist.
Yeah, which people thought like that was a myth, but then it's like one showed up on a camera, or no, it showed up in a fishing net.
Yep.
And they finally caught one on camera like 7 years ago. That's still a new thing. The depths of the ocean, to me, truly is the last frontier.
Yeah. And if we will ever explore down there entirely, it seems very doubtful, at least anytime very soon, for obvious reasons. But I think space would be cool just to get a look from the planets, the galaxies, all that, the cosmos, get
That's what I said.
that visual with deep space. That's, underwater, it's going to be different.
Just a lot of
but-
darkness.
But I don't know. Both intrigue me. Both are pretty interesting. But I don't know. If I could do both, I would. To be honest.
Well, hey, just think about it. If you ever go to space, you could just catch a ride on a UFO, ride with ET, or maybe ride with Captain Kirk, or maybe you find Darth Vader or something.
No, you're thinking about the People's Church or whatever. Those ones that killed themselves because they thought that they were gonna catch a ride on the comet and on the spaceship behind the
Alien
comet.
Why does it
comet.
always have to get so dark?
Oh my! I just thought of
Why
Dead
can't we
Space,
just
I'm not
talk
gonna
about
lie.
banging aliens?
Banging aliens. Damn.
I'm
Sir,
pretty sure that.
we are not going to transmit intergalactic STDs.
I
Like,
would
don't you want
so
space
do.
herpes?
I would so do an Asari,
That's
like
not you
not
do.
even, like in a heartbeat.
Is it properly doing it though? Because you don't even.
I
you don't even
know
put the
it's a
penis in
fucking
her, you
trans.
just
It's
do-
like a fucking mind meld shit, but still.
That seems very unfulfilling.
I mean, as long as everyone finishes, right?
But they can do it mentally. They get into your head and do it. So it's like they can.
I don't want mental stimulation. I want the nut.
Everything is in the brain, okay? So they can probably just flick a
I
switch
want a
and
nut!
make you.
I want the dude to be let loose.
What? Jesus Christ.
I feel violated of this whole conversation.
Is this
I need
more
to,
Demolition Man references? It was like earlier, it was like the commercial, or like the radio station had nothing but like commercials. It's like the one station. Now they're talking about like the not touching intercourse. It's like I'm just thinking Demolition Man right now.
Oh, I thought he was.
Yeah, no, I thought demolition.
No,
Man
there's
was
touching.
about
I'd ring
mind melding.
stupid. There is touching. They do like a.
There's no nutting. There's no dude.
How do you know? Have you done an Asari? I mean, it's not like explicitly said that it's not. It's just they turn their eyes all like crazy and then they fucking
This
go
ain't
into
Star
your...
Trek, man.
Look,
You
I'm
wanna
man.
know
sorry, I
the
brought up
tragedy?
SpaceX.
The true tragedy. I think it's in is it RoboCop with Sandra Bullock and Sylvester? No, it's not
What
Sandra-
RoboCop with Sandra Bullock and Sylvester
Man.
No,
Stallone?
no. When they have
RoboCop.
That's demolition man.
That's demolition.
That was
Man.
demolition, yeah.
Oh, okay.
RoboCop.
Oh god.
Yeah, the shells,
Okay.
the Taco Bells. Like, yeah, Dennis Leary is the guy living in the
The
sewers.
Taco Bell Wars. The fast food wars. it was,
Massive franchise wars.
Yeah, franchise wars.
There it is.
This is
You
looking
know-
RoboCop.
I don't know the name. I just remember
RoboCop versus
them
Simon
having-
Phoenix.
Detroit.
They're having sex through virtual reality.
That's
I'm
what
like,
Ops
that's
just
not
brought
fun.
up.
Okay, well, I don't know the name.
No, it's just I'm
Sue
sorry.
me.
It's just-
Location.
What?
That's all it comes down
What?
to. What? RoboCop happens in Detroit, and Demolition
know
Man
what else
happens in
was
Los
good?
Angeles.
See?
Right.
It's not.
Fifth Element. Lilu.
That was a good one.
Ring is wrong. Demolition Man does not take place in Los Angeles.
Wasn't it?
No, it's San
Oh,
Angeles.
Oh.
Isn't that still in
Get it
Cal-
right.
Wow, rude.
Damn. It's just rude when you do it.
Escalated quickly.
Yeah. He comes off as an asshole.
Right, everyone else is loving and like endearing.
Loving and caring and stuff like that, sharing their opinions and stuff like that.
Being a
And he
Karen.
comes in and tells me like, "What do you all wrong, man? You know, I didn't put my foot in cross because it's not
Espionage.
it's
Classic
sanitary."
Karen.
What?
You're a Karen.
I am not a Karen. I am like the opposite of a Karen.
You know what? To all our viewers, he
You're
had a
pleated.
complaint about a certain thing where a certain person was complaining about a certain service, right? And he had the balls to go and complain about the changes to YouTube.
You know what? You want to hear me complain? I'll tell you fucking something I got to complain about. One thing I cannot fucking stand is the goddamn pop-ups on certain news websites or sites with articles where you try to read and it says, "Oh, we see you have a pop-up enabled, a pop-up blocker enabled. Please or not blocker enabled. Please disable that to read the site." That's the fucking quickest way for me to fuck your news, fuck your article. I will not disable my ad blocker. And a lot of times, what I'll do is I'll get into incognito mode because that's a pretty good workaround. I would rather take the trouble of going into incognito mode and reading the fucking thing with its stupid ads that I'll never fucking click on or worry about. And some of the fucking sites now have the gall to actually go out and say, "Oh, we see you incognito mode." We rely on ads in order to fuck you, man. God, that's the you want to talk about something that
Right.
Take it down.
Wow.
Take it down.
Who got
Drop
him
it down a
started?
notch.
Oh, I just no.
We're being sensible here in our conversation, and you come along.
And
No,
yelling
right.
at us.
I'm not. Yeah, I'm just saying that boils
We're
my
not at
that
fault for the
that
ads.
burns
I feel-
my ass. You fucking
Burn.
whoever
You
the hell
better sit some ice or go seek medical
whoever the fuck
attention for
came
that.
up with that chicken neck fucking.
What?
Chicken
What?
neck?
Wow.
Chicken.
Wow, what do the chickens ever do to you?
It's a chicken.
Anyway, I had one thing to bring up. I don't know how close we are to the end of this thing.
Should be close.
Probably repurchasing games. I like recently bought a game again on the Switch. Actually, I got Cuphead on the Switch, and then I also got Celeste because it was on sale. I bought them on Steam originally. So, how many games have you rebought? And also, why?
That's a fair question.
Okay,
Uh,
I can start that one.
Mm.
So there's Dark Souls. We have that for multiple consoles because Dark Souls, as much as it makes you rage, it's fun to play. And Witcher 3. And Diablo. Oh god, Diablo 3. Yes.
So, the only games I've rebought are, well, I'm guilty of the Nintendo thing where you buy games from like past and on the newest console. I bought them on the Wii, but it turns out you can also import those to the Wii, which worked out just fine.
That's cool.
Now I will say that, and I can read this off my library real quick here. I know I once bought Battlezone 2, and I bought it again for the update or remaster, the Redux. I can say the same for Half-Life because I did buy another copy at one point. Team Fortress 2.
Bioshock.
No, Team Fortress Classic. BioShock. I purchased. No, I bought that once. I never bought the previous days. I did buy Infinite twice. There's a couple more that are coming to mind, but I can't. Oh, Mass Effect and Mass Effect 2. I bought those for the 360, and then I bought those on Steam on EA, and then Saints Row 3. We had it on the 360, I think, and I bought it in for PC.
We had Saints Row. We
Yes.
didn't have 3. We didn't get 3 until.
You sure?
Yes, I
GTA San Andreas, I bought twice. Same with 3. And Leopard Dead, I know we did.
Yes, we had it for the 360 and we got it for the PC.
Mm-hmm. And and there's more, but I can't think of them right now. So we bought a few days, but we hadn't gone totally off the balls buying Skyrim every time it released on a new console, or the new high definition, or the new, hey guys, this is the new so and so edition with a new texture. Buy this now, please. I don't do that. That's
But for the
just-
games you did rebuy, why did you rebuy them? Was it
So-
out of love of them, or just because console updating? Like, I want to play it on.
Well,
For me,
go ahead.
when the rebuys for the Switch, and the
Mhm.
Switch is portable and I could take it anywhere. Now, Diablo 3, I have it for my PlayStation 4, but again, it's for the Switch again, and it's portable. So that's my reason.
I rebought a few of the games because I love them. I rebought the other ones because I didn't have a console to play with, and I don't have those games anymore. So I thought it would be easier to buy them on Steam just for the sake of I can play it anytime I want. A few games I rebought because they're just really no longer available, and I did love them. Like Battlezone 2 is one of those.
Mhm.
But I did adore that game way back when, but it's no longer possible to buy that game. So when they announced a remaster, which is a remaster because the first game was like 1999, or the game originally was released in 1999. It was like, oh, well, that's a no-brainer. I'll pick this up, and here I am.
Nice. Hobbs, S, you guys buy anything over and over?
I am generally just a PC gamer, so that doesn't really apply to me. Half-Life, I own the disc somewhere. I actually do have the original copy of like Half-Life, but obviously I bought it for Steam. I bought the gold box, which came with Half-Life again, so I had like a spare copy and again on Steam. There's some Sega Genesis games that I bought on Steam for the Sega Genesis emulator that I have just because, not to pull up my Sega, but I also do own a Sega Mini now, thanks to Michael Coffey. So there's a lot of games that I already own on that too. But other than that, I don't really, since I only own really the PC. I'm only generally exclusively a PC gamer. I haven't really purchased or repurchased much of anything.
I guess that's fair. Makes sense.
I have purchased a few games over. One of the older games that I rebought, well, I actually rebought I guess kind of the franchise, was the Red Faction franchise. What that one was pretty cool is, again, surprise, surprise, it was a game I never finished. I think I came close to it, but really, it was originally for the PS2. I recently got it for PC, and then I bought it again on the PS4. And it was funny because in that particular game, I played it with one of my brothers, and there was this PvP mode, and we would play this one map over and over and over, and we would increase the bots. I think there was like up to 4 bots plus us, and we would literally play that same map max time limit. I think it was like, I want to say 30 minutes, maybe 10. It was either 15 minutes, 30 minutes, and we would play that over and over. And my brother made like this MP3 like death metal mix, and we would just have that blasting full blast, playing this over and over. So I just always have that fondness memory to that. And so it's like every time it came out, it's like I had to buy it. And then he has PS4 as well. We're playing it on that. That one sticks out to me. Some of the games that I recently rebought were before the PC it was Dying Light, Division, I'm trying to think of some other ones. But basically, with some of those games was to play with these dupes, specifically. He's the dupe, I should say. But
Fine.
Thank
I'm
you
not
for
playing with you
clarifying.
anymore.
Thank you for clarifying that. We needed that.
I am playing
Anyway.
with you anymore.
But a lot of these games were multiplayer, and I was running those games that I really enjoyed playing them on the PS4, and I got to play them again on PC. Again, Dying Light, I really liked that game on the PS4, and then playing it co-op.
Don't you
that
own
was
Borderlands as well on multiple consoles, or some of the Borderlands?
Yes, yeah, Borderlands. I'm trying to think of, for sure, Borderlands, Dying Light, Division, Dead by Daylight. I got that free from the PlayStation.
Grand Theft Auto.
Yes, there you go, Grand Theft Auto. Same thing.
Which
I never
he
played-
got a free car because he already played on the PlayStation, and a free
Yes.
boat or submarine or something.
Val, do you own Grand Theft Auto 5 on PlayStation?
I do.
Um,
I think I'm a lot further in that game than I am on my PC version. Well, not
I-
a lot further, but some
Mm-hmm.
close.
I only ask 'cause if you have the same Rockstar account linked to like your Steam and your PlayStation, you get a couple of free cars, and one of them's like the Duke of Death, and that's a pretty badass
Did
car.
you also get a submarine, or is that something else?
Yes,
I'm
the
gonna have to
submarine, the
figure
monster
that
truck. But yeah, but some of those is to replay it for the multiplayer on PC with these guys and gal.
Okay.
Anyone else have anything to talk about?
I think that's a good wrapping point. One thing, just to touch a little bit on one of the earliest topics we had, was do be sure to start catching us on Twitch. I think what we were talking about doing is like when we do stream, Ring is going to stream his point of view onto Twitch, and if we're playing together or if you guys are playing with him, somebody else can stream onto YouTube. But yeah, it's something we're going to try to start branching out into to Twitch. We're definitely trying to grow our little organization here, so by all means help us out. Join us on YouTube, join us on Twitch, subscribe.
Join
and
us
all
on
that.
Animal Crossing.
That too.
And we're still working out the details, but we're still working out our movie night as well. That's coming up soon.
Yes, that's something I've been working on as well. So,
So stay tuned for more.
plenty of things to look forward to from us.
Mm,
Yes.
Settle down.
never.
I think that's a good stopping point.
Yes. Who would like to see us out?
I vote Nicholas. If he's
Do
not-
it.
Well,
He's
it's
not
that
too-
time again, my friends. We talked about a lot. Animal Crossing, protest, Demolition Man, mind sex. What a time.
Alien
Death in
mindset.
space.
Well, as we always do, it's been obsolete 2003.
Yo.
Ringleader,
Howdy ho.
Valkyrie Grinder,
Bye.
and I'll actually give you the one and only Esp. Vienage, you know the rest. Anyway, it's
Blah,
been a
blah,
great
blah.
time. Again, if you want to send me those things for my OnlyFans, that Snapchat is
Would you
again
stop
Nicholas
with that?
Zombie. You
This
can go
is-
ahead and
this
come
is
to
how
my
we veer
village.
into the
Maybe
sex-
I'll leave you and have some time with my villagers. Whatever. Hey, we'll sell them. It's a hard times out here.
It's the human trafficking again with animals.
Or you
They're
just like and
animals.
subscribe.
The
to
human
our-
farm, I'm telling you.
Oh yeah, like
Fun
and
and
subscribe with that
play.
as well. But if you want to be a little extra, send some of that.
Settle
OnlyFans.
You're
down.
gonna get us killed. I mean, you're gonna get us.
You're
You're gonna,
gonna get.
you're
I
gonna
don't
get
know
us
if it'll be that far.
you're gonna get us like banned. I meant to
You'll
say.
be the death of us.
Son
I don't
of
know
a
what.
bitch is really escalating.
It is. All right, folks, and with that, good night.